Name is David. I'm a Coke Play Frontier from the Genesis Group. I just want to give you guys a market update. So right now, if you look at Bitcoin, well, sorry about that. Um, Obviously this week wasn't the move that I was hoping for, but sorry about that. Yeah. So then, honestly, this move can happen this upcoming week or the following week, right? Because I did say that it's rather it could be this week or next week or probably the week after that. I do kind of think if it doesn't happen by then, maybe this 17,588 could be its low for this bear market, but we'll have to see. Remember, I still have all my buy-in orders. Okay, even if those buy-in orders don't get fulfilled, do not worry because one, if you put in the buy-in orders from 22,000 all the way down to 12, 10, or whatever, 11, $10,000, you still bought in, at its lowest points through the buy-in orders. So you already got the lowest points. All right, now is a question is what are you going to do with the rest of your tether if this is the lowest point? Well, once again, I will tell you guys what I will do when that time comes. Right now, I still have all the buy-in orders left, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Now, here, yeah, it seems like the RSI did get above the 26, okay? Trust me, that's not the best sign in the world if we want a lower bottom. But technically, if you go by Crypto Crew University, I mean, we are in the golden zone of the buying zone. Okay, we are in the golden zone like here, which is cool. Don't worry about that. Now, this is another chart. Now, this guy's channel, it is fun to watch like just one video because he has these funny sound effects. But if you watch more than one, this is I think it's called Crypto Kirby. If you watch it like a third or fourth time, it kind of gets annoying. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, look, um, if you look at from bull markets to bear markets, you had a 93% drop, an 81% drop, 86% drop, 83% drop. This was the COVID crash, 71% drop. So all in all, we have an average of 82%. And if we have an 82% drop, if we just go by the average, 82 can be about a $12,000 Bitcoin. So do I still think it's over? No, I don't. Another thing is I don't even know which RSI, monthly RSI he's using, but if you notice like the big bear market trends, I mean you have some space between the red and the blue. And so it's just started, right? And so we still have some time to go. That's just my opinion. All right. Optical Arts. You guys know my two favorite analyst channels are Crypto Crew University by Steve and Optical Arts, right? So from this bear market that we're in, okay? The first time it dropped, you had a bounce back up of 24%. Then it dropped, you had a bounce back up of almost 40%, 38.87%. You had a drop, it bounced up 27.99%. You had a drop, it bounced up to 27.19%. And we have this drop right now. This is the one that we're in. And so far we have like a 23.42%, but it can go up higher. Now, if you also look, these are some issues that we have. We have supply chain shortages, global pandemic, Ukraine and Russia, inflation. And here's another thing, Fed raising interest rates. Remember, Bitcoin has not been in, and tell you the truth, I'm not so worried about the supply chain shortages. I am worried about it for us, but when it comes to Bitcoin price, no, I'm not. None of this stuff, the big things will be Fed raising interest rates and inflation, okay? And so Bitcoin has never been in this type of environment before. All right. And that's the main thing we need to look at. Now, here, obviously, Bitcoin's still under the 200-day moving average, which is the yellow line. can Bitcoin go down to the 300-day moving average, which is, 16,559? With optical arts, he thinks, yeah. He thinks so, and that'll be probably, sometime in July, August. And so he thinks it's going to look something like this. So when Bitcoin hits that 200-day moving average, that yellow line, which is around like 22,700, he plans on putting in a short. And he expects Bitcoin to kind of move down to the 300-day moving average like that. All right. So now here, what I want y'all to look at is on July 26 to 27, the Fed will have a meeting. When they have a meeting, depending on how the CPI pops up, is rather they're gonna have another like 0.75 or 0.5 or who knows, even a whole full 100% basis point on interest rates. But either ways, I would imagine the stock market, cryptos, all of that's going to fall in July 26 through 27. Okay. And that could probably what sinks Bitcoin down to the 300-day moving average to the 16,000 range. Okay. In September 20 to 21st, probably, you could see another 500 basis points. Who knows? Maybe more. But honestly, I would imagine it's going to be possibly, depending on how bad things get in July, but maybe September, November. Well, I'll say, okay, let's say around these 3 dates, September, November, or December, you might see the Fed do a turnaround. Okay, because maybe the stock market gets crashed too much, or early or the first quarter of next year. So kind of the last quarter of this year, so probably November, December, or first quarter of next year, probably the Feds will turn around. They will do a pivot, and they will no longer raise interest rates because they need to save the stock markets, because that's what they always do, right? Historically, when it comes to any country or any empire, you have the Roman Empire, Chinese empires, you just name it, England, whatever. All these empires in the past, at the end, they just printed money. They had a choice not to, but at the end, they just chose to continue to print money and inflate, and that's probably what's going to happen. So right here, all this raising the interest rates when things go really sour for the stock market, and then it you have more job losses and everything. Yeah, they will probably just stop raising interest rates, and they will probably just cause more inflation now. So that's just what I see. Okay, so what I do see is because of these dates, and the Fed's raising interest rates, and the CPI, Consumer Price Index, not doing so much better, like in terms of going lower. I think Bitcoin still just the fundamentals, because the crypto markets, Bitcoin follows the stock market. Yeah, it should have more further ways down. Okay, and therefore I am really just keeping my buy orders under, from 17,000 and down, because I expect Bitcoin to go further down. Okay, I expect Bitcoin to go further down. So, remember, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I am just telling you what I'm doing, and I gave you reasons why, just some of my reasons why. Okay. Also, Bitcoin has a big liquidation set by Michael Saylor. And so if Bitcoin goes down to like 14,000 or something, he has to liquidate over 100,000 Bitcoins. What do you think that's going to happen to the Bitcoin price? It's going to sink it down. Okay. And so, and don't worry, like if it doesn't go down, trust me, there's so many opportunities if this is the bottom. Okay. But chances are, I don't think it is. Now, if you look at KOK-COIN, okay, so I want all of you to look at this from the top. Okay, remember, KOK-COIN is a solid project. I just made a video about why it's so solid, okay? But it doesn't matter. You have lots of solid projects, lots of solid companies, but the market in terms of stocks and crypto, they're just not treating them well. All right? Despite it being a solid project, despite it even making some money, okay, have some income, revenue, right? So look at the blue line. It went down under the yellow. Okay, that's like the 5-day moving average to the 10-day moving average. And then the pink line is the 30-day moving average. And the blue line goes above the yellow. Then when it sinks, you had a pretty good major sink. Here, when the blue line goes above, you had some sideways. But when the blue line went down, you had a pretty good sink. And so we had some sideways and then a pretty good sink right now, right? And now you have the blue line that's about to go, the 5-day moving average that's about to go above the 10-day moving average. But if you look at the trend, okay? If you look at the trend, all right? And you take the bias out of it. Remember, when I analyze, it doesn't matter how much I like the project. It doesn't matter how much I'm invested into the project. I have to just be honest with it and take away, all biases out. And what is my bias? If I take all the bias out and I don't even know this is a KOK-COIN chart and I just look at it, what do I expect? I expect more further down movement, especially when I see that Bitcoin is going down. Okay. So I'm just looking at it from a chart perspective, not how much I like it or that I'm invested or I have um, some, like emotional attachment to it. I got to take all of that out and just look at the chart. And this just tells me it's going to go further down. Okay. So once again, Coke Play family, I know this is not what you want to hear, but you want to hear the truth, right? You want to hear someone that's going to honestly tell you what they see instead of what they want to see. And honestly, what I see is, KOK-COIN will go further down. However, this is a great, honestly now, I think you see that 71 cent is going to go further down than that. But when the opportunity comes, you're going to have great buy-in opportunities and where you can stake in Coke Play, or you can invest into K Stadium, and it's gonna be great, to be honest, because you're gonna have the currency of it has so much value on the platform. So remember, the platforms have use case ability. Remember, it has intrinsic value because there are things on the platforms that is only on the platforms. You can't get certain services or contents on any other platform. You can only get it on Case Stadium or Coke Play, right? And so because of that, there's intrinsic value. Remember, it's like if you look at the US dollar to other currencies, except for the ruble, because the ruble is actually beating everybody, which is Russia's currency. But if you look at the US dollar to even Korea, it costs over 1.3 thousand Korean won to get one US dollar. Now, imagine, it might go even higher, right? You look at the Japanese yen is getting crushed right now. And so just because the Japanese yen, it costs a lot more than 6 months ago to get a dollar, it doesn't mean that a Japanese citizen can go to a Japanese bank and ask for more yen. They can't. It doesn't matter what it's doing to the dollar, right? Or, how much devaluement is getting compared to the dollar. None of that matters. You're stuck to your countries, right? And so that's what you're doing. This is an ecosystem. You are stuck to, the Coke ecosystem. And so the yen is still at its value to a yen in Japan, just like Coke coins are valued to its value to the Coke ecosystem. But if you have a bunch of dollars and then you buy yen, you could take a lot of advantage of it and get more yen out of the dollar and then put it into a bank or whatever you want to invest it in Japan to get more returns, right? And so that means you get more advantage out of that. Well, it's the same thing with Coke Plate, just like any other country's currency right now, Coke Play is losing its value in comparison to the dollar. Okay, just like all the other currencies are stocks. But however, unlike stocks, because it's a currency, not a stock, like all other currencies around the world, well, you can get more currency from the dollar. And as you get more currency from the dollar, it still holds its value, its purchasing power, and its intrinsic value on its ecosystem, just like any currency to its country. And so then, you can get more out of it inside the platform, inside the ecosystem, rather, you stake in or you purchase something with it. Okay. And so, is still a good opportunity. Okay. Because what happens is like anything else, the dollar will reverse course and currencies around the world will regain and will gain strength against the dollar, and the value of it against the dollar will go up, and so then it'll have more power in the global stage, right? And that's not just for government currencies, but it will also be the same for cryptocurrencies. Okay, because we experienced that just even a year ago, right? And so it's all about patience, it's all about timing. All right, is understanding the market, and it's understanding what this is. Okay, and that's what this is. Okay, I know a lot of people are just in here because they just want to make a quick buck and sell all their coins or sell all their bitcoins or sell all their ethereum in the future, whatever they're holding. They just want to sell it to their current currency of wherever country they're in and then just spend it. I understand. That's what most of, probably over 90% are doing. However, you have to understand this is an ecosystem. Okay, like I said, because these platforms have its own currencies, it has their own ecosystem. It's like your own. It's like its own country in a way. You get what I'm saying? And so it's not what you think it is. It's not like a stock. A stock. In fact, even when you buy stocks, no one buys stocks to hold and own part of the company. People just buy stocks because they're hoping that the value of the stocks will go up, the value of the company will go up, and then they could sell those stocks at a higher price than what they bought it for, so they could spend it and live a more luxurious life, right? And I know that's exactly how they're treating cryptocurrencies, but remember, these currencies are its own ecosystem, like a country has its own ecosystem. Okay, and so just like all these other countries are losing their value, they're not value, but well, they're losing their value to the dollar. Doesn't mean the currency's lost its value to what it's worth within the country. Everyone's experiencing inflation. And same with Coke Plate. Yeah, Coke Plate has lost value against the dollar, but it's still keeping its value to the platform. Okay, and you can still use the currencies to purchase whatever you want or services that you want or contents that you want on the platform. So that's what it is. All right, everyone. I hope all of you stay healthy. Please take good care of yourself, physical care of yourself, all of that. Please be spiritually healthy, mentally healthy. Okay. Also, if you heard some screaming in the background, those are my two sons. I have two boys, and sometimes they like to fight. Yeah, but anyway, but my wife's also in the home, so hopefully she was telling them to be quiet. But anyway, yeah, and everyone, once again, pray for the Ukrainian Russian citizens. Yeah, we have it bad because inflation and everything else, but inflation was already coming. Gas prices were already high up before the Russian invasion. All it did is probably add percentages to whatever we had before. Okay, and yeah, pray for them, because remember, we citizens, we don't start these wars. Our politicians do. In a perfect world, if politicians want to go to war, we should just have the politicians suit up, put them in a battlefield, and have them fight and kill each other instead of sending us. And then you'll be surprised. There'll be no wars at all if they had to go fight, instead of sending the citizens that they're supposed to represent. All right, and that goes on both sides, because Yeah, they're both guilty. And yeah, that's it. Other than that, everyone, love you guys. Okay, you want to prepare for more inflation to continue. You want to, stock up on some things, not just for yourself, but also friends and family, even if they don't think things will get worse, which I don't know why they wouldn't. And remember, I've been telling y'all this for a while now. So, and it continues to get worse, right? All right, everyone. Love you guys. Now's a great time to know God. Jesus loves you. God bless y'all, and KOK-OIN.